This is Mary Prasad. Visit me at artbymdp.blogspot.com. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to color realistic die cuts with Memento products. The supplies I used for this project are listed on the screen. First, die cut all the pieces. Use white cardstock for the flower petals and stamen, green for the leaves and the ivy, and brown for the grapevine wreath. I started with the magnolia since it's going to be the centerpiece of my design. It's the largest flower. First, I looked up some images on Google for a model. I'm going to use both ink and markers to color the flowers. To better control the color, I'm going to put the color onto the craft mat and then use ink potion number 9 and Fantastics to apply the color to the flowers. Don't rub the paper too hard with the Fantastics or it may pill up. The markers are nice for adding in small details. To shape the flowers, I'm going to use this Susan's Garden toolkit from Elizabeth Craft Designs. This is the leaf tool, and I'm just going to press firmly and pull towards the middle of the flower on each petal. And I'm going to do this for all the petals. I'll also use a ball stylus to give it a little more shape. Use an edge in your thumb to curl the paper back. The ball stylus is perfect for creating a cup shape. These two pieces will form the stamen center of the flower. My favorite glue for building flowers is Beacon's Kids Choice Glue. It has a great consistency and dries fairly quickly. It also dries clear. Before adhering the flowers together, I'm going to give the petals a little pinch to give them some more shape. Once you have finished gluing the stamen together, set aside the magnolia to dry. For the chrysanthemums and the tulips, you're going to want to color both sides because both sides will show. Use the markers for more intense colors, for example on the stamen, and use the ink potion number 9 with the inks and the markers to blend it out for a softer color. To color this yellow and pink chrysanthemum, I'm going to start with more intense color of yellow in the center and then work my way out to the darker pinks, but in the middle it's going to blend a little more softly together. Try gently using the side of the marker's brush tip to apply the color in strokes, and then intensify areas with the tip. Use a pair of detailed scissors to cut each of the stamen filaments in half. Shape each petal by using the leaf tool and pulling down from the tip of the petal towards the center, gently but firmly. Press and rub with a ball stylus to get the petals to cup up. You'll want the center petals of the chrysanthemum to cup up more than the outer petals, so you'll press a little harder on those and then gently ease up as you work your way to the outer petals. Use a pair of tweezers to hold one end of the stamen while you apply glue, and then use it to roll them up. Glue the petal layers offset and in a different orientation from each other to give them a nice full look. For the second chrysanthemum, you're basically going to repeat the process, but with different colors. You can't see it really well in the video, but the photo shows that the flower has darker orange tips even on the yellow petals. Use the sponge daubers to apply ink in broader strokes. To apply color to the tulips, I'm going to use a flicking motion and mostly the edge of the brush tip. I'm going to layer the colors and overlap them so you get kind of these striations in the colors. Don't forget you may also use Memento ink as well as the markers to get more variation in color. To shape the tulips, use the leaf tool and pull down from the top of the petal to the center. I'll use embossing powder as pollen for the stamen. Separate the filaments a little bit before applying glue to the tips and then dipping them into the embossing powder. The magnolia leaves are a little darker green, so I'm going to use the Fantastics and just rub randomly across the leaves to give them a lot more color. Then I'm going to use the sponge daubers to add even more color. Magnolia leaves are kind of shiny, so I'm going to use a little petroleum jelly to give them some sheen. Since I'm only using the leaves in this project, I'm just going to cut off the stems. Tulip leaves usually have a bend down the middle, so I'm going to concentrate some of the color down the center for shading. Chrysanthemum leaves have veins, so I'm going to draw those on with the Fantastics after giving them some shading. To shape the magnolia leaves, I'm going to draw down the center with the leaf tool and use the ball stylus to rub on the backs. You can also reverse this process for a different look. For the chrysanthemum leaves, first rub on the back with the ball stylus, and then draw a line down the center of each and draw the vein lines in. You can draw the center line from the front or the back depending on the look you want, but draw the vein lines from the front. For the ivy, I just added some random spots of color for shading. I shaped the leaves by simply drawing a line down the middle of each. To form the 5 by 7 inch card base, score down the middle of a sheet of 7 by 10 inch craft cardstock. Then fold it in half. I mounted the pattern paper on dark brown cardstock, centered it on the front of the card, then added the grapevine wreath. I bent a few of the branches up to give it some more dimension. I cut each of the vine bases off, then cut one strand off to add to the card later. I glued the double vines around the leaf, leaving space for the flowers. Finally, I glued the stamen to the center of the magnolia, and then arranged and glued all the flowers down. You could leave the card like this, or you could add the extra pieces of vine to give them a fuller look. For paper sizes and other details, please visit artbymdp.blogspot.com. Here's a final close-up of the flowers. I love how the colors came out. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and visit artbymdp.blogspot.com for more information.